What's up, YouTube? This is your boy, SimRenewal. We're gonna go over a video. I haven't actually watched it. It was sent to me. So I just want to give my natural reaction to it. Here you go, y'all. Okay, it's a TED Talk. I liked it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I won't do all the dances. I will spare you the torture. But as you guessed from my introduction and by the lovely words of Miss Beyonce, I'm a single lady, no ring on this finger. So I'm 31 years old. I have my PhD in history. I would consider myself very successful in my career choice. I absolutely love my job. And I'm pretty much happy about everything all the time. But I'm not married. I'm not engaged. I'm not even close. So according to traditional gender norms, I'm a failure. And I feel a lot of pressure to get married and settle down, and I want to. I want to find someone who's right for me. I want to find someone to share my life and love and experiences with. You know, eventually get married and pop out a few spawn. Typical.
Um, if you all have never seen a TED Talk normally it's an important and serious matter, yet sprinkled in a little bit of humor. Well, if you can tell from her demeanor and how she's speaking as she's presenting this TED Talk, she emphasized that she says she's a PhD, she's happy with her career, she's 31, key thing, she's 31, and she's happy in pretty much everything except, she didn't say except, but you have to realize that this is what she's doing, except the traditional norm of being in a relationship and being married, having children. From a traditional perspective, she has failed and she feels pressure. So, first off, she's not really happy with everything. She's happy with the work choices that she made. She's not happy with the relationship perspective of her life. Yeah, I wanted people to realize that.
I'm not quite sure why it hasn't worked out for me yet. Obviously, my educational and career choices have forced me to move around a little bit in the past few years, but even still, I'm fun, I'm charming, I'm not completely hideous. I'm not high maintenance. I love cooking. I like watching sports. I like having sex. So I've got a lot of pros in the minds of the male of our species, if you know what I'm saying. I think I'm a pretty decent catch. And in terms of what I want for a guy, well, when I was young, I created a long list of all the things that I wanted in my future husband. And there was all sorts of personal qualities and physical attributes and just general skills or possessions that I thought would be useful.
Okay, okay. I want to speak about a little bit what she said prior to this and this right here. So, she said she has the qualities that the male species wants. Well, she kind of hinted towards her career choices has hampered her a little bit in regards to relationships. Yet she's fun. She likes sports. She likes sex. She cooks and she cleans. You have to understand what she said is she has the bare minimum requirements to hook up, not have a committed relationship. Everything she named was having fun and hooking up, not commitment. She didn't speak to anything. She says slow maintenance. You realize by the time you're now 31 that you can't get everything that you want. And emphasizing that you are a PhD is showing that your education meant so much to you that it outdoes the prospects of the people you're talking to. And with this list, it just emphasizes the female mind in many cases that many women who were young girls had a list someone like this where it is like 50 some attributes that the man must have s- that she wants. And that's just unrealistic expectations because when he falls short of these things, and it takes you a long time to realize that you don't need all this, you might have met your significant other. She's 31. She might have met him at 22. She might have met him at 24. Yet her expectations were so high, and her focus was not a relationship. It was to make sure she ended up at a independent lady. Let's keep it going.
Well, as I'm getting older, this list keeps getting smaller and smaller. The first thing to go was all of those materialistic things. I didn't really care about those. The next thing to go was the skills. They would be useful, but I don't really need someone that's good at computers and cars and construction. So as the list started to dwindle, the problem was I started to feel like I had given up some things that were really important. And I was going to have to settle for somebody that it wasn't going to make me happy and maybe wasn't going to treat me very well. So I backtracked and I came up with most important things to me. Okay, so I don't care if it's superficial and shallow. I want somebody that's taller than me. I'm 5'10". I am not a small girl, all right? I don't want somebody that's going to make me feel any bigger than I already am. I want somebody that shares my political beliefs, which is not important at all to some people. But I've dated guys with different political commitments, and I've realized that I don't like to argue. And I cannot be James Carville and Mary Madeline. I can't do it. I want somebody that's smart. I'm smart. And I want somebody I can talk to. They don't have to have a PhD necessarily, but they can't be threatened by mine. Basically, just somebody that has the general sense of intellectual curiosity and a love for learning. I need somebody that's ambitious and hardworking. I can't respect you if you don't have goals. And then, of course, the general sense of humor, kind, honest, laid back, non-smoker, likes cats, etc.
So, oh man, that's funny. Okay, what she effectively just said was, I took my entire big list, and over the time period of my life, I reduced the list. And as I reduced the list, I feel like I gave up on things that would make my relationship better. I'm settling for a lesser man in many aspects. But you know what? This is the bare bone basics of what I need from a man. And what is not understood or seen or expected in this entire TED Talk so far is she's never really stating what it is of her that she could improve to get said any of the men in her list, and removing things that were superficial that really didn't matter was a good thing. It's not settling for someone who is less and who might not potentially treat you the best. Actually, you this woman is speaking to a group of people with the worst perspective when it comes to relationships. You overly expect from the opposite sex something amazing. Then, because you are not getting suitors, you continue to remove things from your list. And now you're saying that because you dwindled your list, the person you get might not be the best person for you anyway. That's a damned if you do and damned if you don't. Because you wanted the top. You had the expectations at the top, and the person that you wanted, and or the aspects in the man that you wanted, you were not going to get. So you let stuff go. But as you let it go, you didn't keep a positive mindset saying that these things does not really matter in regards to a relationship. You said, no, I'm settling for a lesser individual. That's the wrong way to look at it. Just be real. That is the wrong way to look at the perspective of serious relationships. You're giving up useless things to have a fruitful relationship. That's what you're really doing. Not settling for somebody that is less than. Because even with what you have now, be honest, with the mindset of yourself and for women who think like her, the mindset you have, you're not going to have good relationships regardless. Because you're walking into them saying, you know what, let's give you a chance. You're technically looking down on the man that you're trying to go out with before you go out with him. Just wanted to let that be known.
So I don't think that this list is unreasonable. And yet, here I stand, maybe, single like a slice of craft. And what's worse is that everywhere I look in popular culture, especially in men's and women's magazines, I am bombarded by all sorts of messages pressuring me I need to get married and settle down. And it's kind of interesting. I read through the female magazines and they have articles about how to find true love, where to find a man, where is Mr. Right. The quizzes are always asking, why am I still single? Where's my crush? Meanwhile, the men's magazines are touting singlehood and bachelor life. There's actually advice about how to avoid commitment, how to avoid marriage, how to dump your girlfriend. I'm sitting here crying in my wine, taking a quiz over why he doesn't like me, and this is what the men's magazines are saying? Not to mention the endless assault of cliche questions I get from everybody in my life. BuzzFeed came out with this list a few months ago in August, and it's 24 things single people are tired of hearing. And boy, it is spot on. So, for example, how are you still single? You're so great. I know, right? Don't you ever get lonely? Don't you want kids? Yeah, duh, obviously. You should try online dating. That's my favorite. I'll get to that in a minute. Don't worry, you'll find someone. Just don't turn into a crazy cat lady. Too late on that one. You should let me set you up. Hell no. And then, of course, don't give up. It'll happen. And then when you stop looking, it'll happen. Which one is it? And my absolute favorite, you should put yourself out there more. All right, listen, just listen. I'm out there, all right? I'm trying, I'm not going to the bar. I'm not, on the prowl. I'm a little too close to cougar status right now.
Okay, the BuzzFeed messages that she put up there that single people don't like to hear. First of all, rarely do you hear a man get those type of questions as him being single. These are, it sounds like questions posed to a woman from a woman. And that is probably irritating from women to women because the women that are asking these questions are probably women who are already in relationships and they're happy. So they're asking you. And she said, hey, I'm not really on the prowl because I'm their cougar status. It's intended to be a joke, but yet current day, 35 is when you hit the wall where you're going to have to settle for a man that wants you in a certain perspective. You can't get the best pick. You've chosen your career, your education, stating that you're a PhD. Multiple times in this conversation, you said that you're a PhD. Being a PhD does not equate to anything in any sense. Saying that you don't want a man, for a previous point, you don't want a man intimidated by your PhD. The only men who will be intimidated by a PhD is men who do not feel confident, one, in their intelligence, and two, a woman who constantly pushes her intelligence in his face, trying to make it seem as though because I have achieved set goal in my life, this makes me more valuable than you. Those are the people who won't settle for your PhD. Your PhD doesn't matter. You're intelligent. Yes, let's have intelligent conversation. But let's not make it like you said. You don't like to argue, so your PhD doesn't matter to his intelligence. If you can have a conversation, like you said, it matters. It didn't need to be, as you said, the urge for learning. You're comparing your ability to learn and your status that what you got to what he has, and if he has not gotten, for example, if he got his bachelor's, not a master's or PhD, you will probably not give him really the running because when you have a conversation, you're gonna try to spin it into the hard working aspect because maybe he's not that intelligent. Well, he might went down a path that he does not need to get a PhD to emphasize his intelligence. So I want to just speak on that. And this entire vibe and entire energy is just saying desperate. I'm desperate for someone to care for me and see me and take me in. And I'm frustrated with the world telling me that I have not succeeded.
But I'm keeping my eyes and my mind and my heart open. And I have tried online dating. And I've met some really great guys on there. But overall, my experience has been horrible. I don't know how well Martha has done, but more often than not, my suitors involve weird encounters, all sorts of insults to my looks and my education and my taste in movies and music, etc. And more than once, a circa like 5'4", 300-pound dude hitting on me, which looks aren't everything. And I applaud your confidence, buddy. But really, come on. And then of course the typos. Good God, the typos. The very first thing it said on my profile was, I have a PhD. And yet, hey girl, you fin. So, yeah, translation. Hey girl, you fine. How about you hit me up and get with me? Hey, right? I didn't reply. And then we have, oh, here we go. Finally. Okay, so I think I'm a decent catch. I think I'm realistic. And I'm out there trying. So I have a few words of advice for everybody that wants to butt their noses in and give me some information to help this poor, tragic single girl. When you feel that word vomit bubbling up, when you feel that, well, are you seeing someone? Just consider this list first, okay? So here we go. Number 1, don't ask me about my love life. If I have something to tell you, if I have some great news, if I've met someone that merits discussion, I'll tell you. Until then, there's only one correct answer to this question. And when I give the wrong answer, it just leads to disappointment and awkward feelings for both of us. So don't ask me about my love life. Number 2, it's not contagious. I don't get why married people think they only can hang out with married people. Please don't cut me out of your life because I don't have a spouse. I'm not terminally ill. It's not contagious. We can still be friends. Stop the pity party. Oh, if I get one more sympathetic head tilt and, patting on the arm, it's going to be okay. You'll find someone. Oh, I could just scream. Stop the phony sympathy. Try genuine support instead. And I don't really know how to explain this except to think of my closest friends that tell me, they're excited when I'm excited. And when it goes wrong, it's no big deal. In connection with that, it's harder on me than it is on you. I will never understand when I hear through the grapevine that somebody says, oh, so-and-so is so worried about you. They just really wish that you would find someone and settle down. Yeah, I'm so sorry that I'm keeping them up at night with my pathetic single life. As if I don't have enough to worry about, then I've got to worry about them too. Believe me, I'm dealing with it. It's harder on me. Oh, sorry. In connection, it doesn't affect your life at all. Whether or not I have a boyfriend, doesn't matter. And if it does matter, if your life is so dependent on that, you need to get a hobby, okay? And my last point. there's no one correct path. So some people get married really young. Some people get married young and get divorced. Some people get remarried. Some people get married when they're older. Some people live together forever and never get married. Some people are truly happy being single. And that's all fine. None of those are right or wrong. There is no one correct path or lifestyle or relationship. And that's actually the one that I need to take to heart the most. It's okay that I'm not married yet. I'm independent, I'm intelligent, I'm accomplished. I'm just missing one piece of my puzzle, but I'm pretty sure it's going to fall into place. But if anybody liked what they saw or heard here today,
Hey, yeah, I just want to let that play out before I gave my final comments. Really, I just want to say that her final list, never take that advice. None of it. None whatsoever. I can just speak to each one of those points. I don't remember each one of them yet. I think the first one was effectively, don't ask about my love life. You effectively saying, don't ask me about my love life because I know my love life's not good. If you are like that and you're already at that point, then there's no point in us having a conversation. I'm not your friend. I don't care. And even if I'm your friend, I know that you don't have a love life. So there's no point bringing it up to begin with. So maybe that's in reference to women talking to other women. Women talk to you and saying that, hey, what about your love life? The same thing with pity. Men don't give you pity. The only people who might give you pity is your dad and your brother. Your male friends, if you had male friends, then they'd be like, if your male friends feel pity and are part of the group that's saying I'll hook you up and things of that nature, you should probably ask your male friends, why would you not hook up with me? Just ask them. Why are they okay still being a friend knowing that you're searching for a man? That whole second point of it's not contagious. Well, why married couples and successful relationship couples stay away from single people? It's because you come with your independent perspective and mindset. A man who's in a relationship can come to a man without a relationship and have a conversation and know whether he's happy at home and go back home to it and not be as influenced as a woman who's in a relationship who's talking to a single woman and she's gonna come back saying, well, it might put into her a little bit more than the man. I would just say that. Women are creatures that have to be accepted by others, while men don't care. So the difference in a man and their relationships and relationship goals don't matter as much. Actually, most men, by certain points, start to de-associate themselves with other men that are not following in the same path as them. So either it's come from career choice, life, just moving on. You don't associate yourself with set people who are not like you as much. Whereas women try to keep their friends around, even though their lifestyle and your lifestyle does not actually mingle and mix. So it's normally best to separate from that because your lifestyles become very different. Um, and just ultimately to the end, um, yeah, that ending was hilarious because she said, I need to be more comfortable with that one piece not being in the puzzle yet. Yet it's going to fall into place. No, actually, it's not. And there are two pieces missing. One, the commitment and relationship from a man. And two, your understanding of your value and what you can give to a man. Those are actually two pieces missing, not just the commitment part. But I digress. I digress. I just want people to hear that TED talk from that woman, and that's just terrible advice. That's a woman at the very end of her TED talk. If you liked anything you heard today, give me a call. It's meant to be humor, but if you paid attention to her demeanor the entirety of her TED Talk, she meant every word of it. She wants companionship. She can't find it. She has not found a suitable person that meets her criteria, but she has not stopped to think about what she can give to him. All she's continuously said that I believe I'm a catch. Women, please think about what you can offer to a man so he can be satisfied with you just as much as you want to be satisfied with him. That's all I want to say.